Challenge. There it is. There's my book. And as you can see, this morning I am at the beach, South Padre Island. And I thought I'd record this from the beach here this morning because I think sometimes about prayer, and the beach. Yeah, not prayer and the beach and praying on the beach. You can do that. That's great. But I think sometimes prayer is like the beach for me. We live here so close to South Padre Island in Harlingen, and we can sometimes forget just what a treasure we have in the backyard with South Padre, with the island and things like that, and we don't take advantage of it as much as we do as a family. Even though it's so close, I can't remember the last time that we as a family actually took the time to come to the beach, spend some time just digging in the sand, playing in the waves, eating some great food, because it's right in our backyard. It's always one of those things. We know it's there, we can go at any time, and we just don't utilize it. We just don't take advantage of it. I think sometimes we do the same thing with prayer. We know it's there when we really need it, when we really want it, and when we can go to God in prayer, but we don't always take advantage of it. We don't always fill our life with prayer. I like Zach's question this morning from the challenge. Here's what he said as I was reading my devotion this morning from day number 3. Here, if I got to get it in the midst of the wind. And when we prioritize prayer, here's what it says. He asked the question, is prayer a priority in your life? And here's the question. Let me ask you a question. Look back at the last week of your life. If God answered every one of your prayer requests, what would be different in the world today? If God answered every prayer request you had, what would be different in the world today? I think honestly, most of us, if we saw that question, if we answered that question, there wouldn't be much that's different. Maybe we got a closer parking spot. Maybe we would pass that test at school. Whatever it is, our prayer life sometimes is a little bit smaller than what God would have us intended to be, and that what Jesus would model for us, right? Because Jesus models prayer throughout his ministry. Sometimes he does that by himself. He withdraws to a solitary place to pray. I think one of those times he does it is by a seashore, by the Sea of Galilee, not by the Gulf of Mexico, but the Sea of Galilee, where he goes to pray, where he sends his disciples over to the other side of the lake, and he prays to the Father. I think other times about the disciples themselves asking Jesus to teach them to pray, like it's something that they wanted to learn about, something that they wanted to grow in. And then when Jesus teaches them to pray, he teaches them that prayer that many of us pray a couple of times every day, the Lord's Prayer, or the Our Father, however you want to call that. And not that prayer is somehow a magical prayer that we say. No, it's rather in it a model of all of our prayers, about who